If you want a clear system for annotating any book that you read, then I've got you covered. Hey everybody, welcome. It's so good to see you here. My name is Eden, in case you're new here, and we're here today for one purpose, at least I know I am, and that is to share with you how I annotate my books when I read. First off, a small disclaimer here. I've learned the hard way that I need to start including those in my videos. I'm not an expert by any means, and I know that writing and marking the pages of our books is a bit of a controversial topic, to say the least, and some people are strongly against writing in their books, and that is awesome. Obviously you should do what works for you, and I'm here to share with you what works for me and a sort of system that I developed over the years that I genuinely think that you can benefit from. And with that said, let's start. I love annotating my books, writing, marking, underlining, the whole thing. You can see how much I love a book by how much I've written inside. Little to no marks usually mean I felt the book didn't even deserve any effort from my side and that I was very apathetic towards it. For me, annotation is a form of engagement with the text. It makes reading much more interesting. It's like a conversation with the author, with the characters, or with the concepts presented in the book. It also adds a sentimental value to the book because it now includes something of me inside of it. Not to mention the benefits that come with this sort of active reading, which helps me to retain the information I read. I talk more about active reading in this video about how to read a book a day if you want to check it out. I've always annotated my books, but at first I didn't have any sort of system. I just marked or wrote things that stood out to me as I read. And I really wanted my annotation to be more focused. So later in this sort of annotation journey, I would decide what I was looking for before starting a book or an article. But even then, I wanted a clear system to limit my decisions and save time. So I came up with the acronym SCRIBE, which stands for S is for spotlight, and that means the unique elements in the text that I want to focus on and sort of the reason why I picked this book in the first place. So for example, for my dissertation, I was looking for elements of time, fear, and control in the books that I read, and that was my spotlight and main focus basically. C is for core concepts, and these are the different themes in the book that I'm looking for. R is for representations, and obviously you can alter that any way you'd like. For me, because of my field of interest, I always look for representations of childhood, children, child and adult relationships, and things like that, but it can vary, and for some books I look for representations of gender, emotions, environment, etc. So it really depends on you, what kind of representations you're into and what the type of text that you're reading. I is for insights, and that means facts, events, research findings, and things like that. B is for best quotes, pretty straightforward. E is for explore further, and these are things I want to look up later. So for my annotations, I use tabs, sticky notes, a pen, and a marker. And here's how I do it. First of all, I set myself up, I write down the word scribe and specify what I'm looking for in each category. Then I start reading. As I read each chapter, I use a marker to highlight important parts and write in the margins anything that I think would be important for me to mention, to question, or just a word that will remind me what this is about. If I need to write a lot or if I want to summarize a complicated idea, I use sticky notes. Quick tip here, if your sticky notes tend to sort of climb up, peel them from the top and not from the bottom. I always strive to improve my English, so I circle unfamiliar words or idioms to learn and check later. After finishing a chapter, I add the tabs according to the categories I set at the beginning. I do it this way because I like to recall what I read and process the information without interrupting the flow of my reading. I love using my hands in any activity that I do. I think it helps me concentrate a lot better. So maybe that is why I love writing so much when I read. And so I also use a commonplace book to write down thoughts, ideas, quotes, anything worth mentioning basically. I won't go into detail here about layout and what it means and all of that, but if you want a video about that, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. After finishing the book, I make sure all the tabs are in place and I write a short review on my Notion page. I know it sounds like a lot of writing, but that's what works for me, and it helps me keep track of key points and reflections for future reference, because I usually use the books and articles that I read for creating content. Then it's essential for me to have a place where everything is neatly summarized. And that's about it. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know if you think the system would work for you and for your needs, or maybe if you have any ideas how to improve this system, or maybe you have your own tips and tricks on how to annotate books. I'd love to hear them as well. Also, I've started a new challenge yesterday and I uploaded a short. I'll link it here somewhere. It's called the Final Page Challenge. So if you want to join me, you can tag me and we can encourage each other. I really need some accountability. So yeah, I hope to see you there. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Take care. Happy reading, happy annotating. I hope you like this video, and if not, that's totally fine. I love you anyway, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.